If you ever walked away from a conversation with someone feeling confused, questioning your own memory, wondering if you're just being too sensitive, this video is for you. For more videos on how to take charge of your love life, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And don't forget to like this video. Before we get into the red flags, let's quickly define what gaslighting actually is. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where someone makes you question your own reality, your own memory, your perceptions, and even your sanity. Gaslighting usually doesn't happen all at once. It's gradual, it's subtle, and by the time you realize what's happening, you're already doubting yourself so much that you don't even trust your own judgment. So let's talk about the signs. Red flag number one, they flat out deny things you know happened. This is classic gaslighting. You bring up something they said or did, and they look at you like you've grown a second head and say things like, I never said that. That didn't happen. You're making things up. And they say things with such conviction so that you start actually wondering, did I imagine that conversation? Am I remembering things wrong? But here's the truth. You didn't misunderstand. They're rewriting history to suit their current narrative. And when that happens repeatedly, you start losing confidence in your own memory. Red flag number two, they constantly tell you you're being too sensitive or overreacting. Now I want to be clear, sometimes we do overreact, we're human. But when someone consistently invalidates your feelings every time you express hurt and concern, that's a problem. A gaslighter will use phrases like, you're too emotional. Why do you always blow things out of proportion? It's not that big of a deal. You're being way too dramatic. Can't you just take a joke? The message you're sending us is clear. Your feelings are wrong, your perception is flawed, you're the problem over and over again. And eventually, over time, you start to believe it. You stop trusting your emotional responses, you start minimizing your own hurt because you don't want to be too much. But listen, your feelings are valid. If something hurts you, it hurts you. A healthy partner doesn't dismiss your emotions. No, they actually care about how you feel and work with you to solve the issues. Red flag number three, every time you address a problem, somehow you become the problem. This is called deflection, and gaslighters are experts at it. You bring up something that hurts you, and within minutes, you find yourself apologizing to them. Here's how it plays out. You say, it really hurt my feelings when you canceled the plans last minute. And they respond with, well, maybe if you weren't so demanding of my time, I wouldn't feel so pressured. You're always on my case about something. Then suddenly the conversation has shifted from their behavior to your alleged flaws. You're now defending yourself instead of addressing the original issue. And before you know it, you're apologizing for bringing it up in the first place. This is manipulation, pure and simple. In a healthy relationship, both people take responsibility for their actions. They don't weaponize your concerns against you. Red flag number four, they twist your words and use them against you. You share something vulnerable with them, maybe a past mistake or an insecurity, something you're struggling with, and later they use it as ammunition. Let's say you confided to them that you've been working on yourself and trying to be less controlling in relationships because that was an issue in your past before. Now, every time that you express your boundary or a need, they say, there you go, being controlling again. I thought you were working on that. They're taking your self-awareness and weaponizing it to make you doubt yourself. Or they'll twist your words entirely. You'll say, I feel like we don't spend enough quality time together. And they'll tell others, she's so clingy and needy and she gets upset if I have my own life. That's not what you said, but they're reframing your reasonable request as a character flaw. This keeps you on the defensive and makes you afraid to speak up about your own needs. Red flag number five. They try to isolate you from people who would validate your reality. This one is huge. Gaslighters know that if you talk to your friends, family, or therapists about what's happening, those people might say, wait, That's not okay. That's not normal. And of course, they can't have that. So they'll try to drive a wedge between you and your support system. They might say things like, your friends don't really care about you, do they? They're just jealous of what we have. Your family has always been so negative. They just don't want you to be happy. Why do you need to talk to a therapist? What's the point? They position themselves as the only person you can trust, the only one who truly understands you. And when you're isolated, you have no one to reality check what's really happening. You only have a version of their events. If someone in your life is trying to cut you off from the people who love you, that's a massive red flag. Not just for gaslighting, but for abuse in general. Red flag number 6, something feels deeply wrong, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. This is your intuition trying to break through the fog and the gaslighting. You'll notice you'll feel anxious, confused, on edge about this person. But when you try to explain it, they make it sound like you're being irrational. You might find yourself constantly second guessing yourself, feeling like you're walking on eggshells, apologizing for all the things that aren't your fault, feeling like it's hard to make simple decisions because you just don't trust yourself anymore. Here's what I want you to know and to understand. Your gut feeling is data. Your body is picking up on patterns and inconsistencies that your conscious mind is trying to rationalize away. If you feel consistently anxious, confused, diminished in a relationship, even if you can't point to one specific thing, that feeling is telling you something that's important. Don't ignore it. Red flag number 7, they never ever take genuine accountability. I mean, never. When confronted about something they did wrong, a gaslighter will deny what happened, blame you for it, justify why they had to do it, minimize the impact, play the victim. But they will not say, you're right, I messed up, I'm sorry, how can I make this right? Because taking accountability would mean admitting you're not the problem. They are. And that threatens their whole entire identity and their entire manipulation strategy. You might get a fake apology like, I'm sorry you feel that way, or I'm sorry if you think I did something wrong. But notice how those apologies put responsibility back on your perception, not their actions. Real accountability sounds like, I was wrong to cancel our plans at the last minute. I can see how that hurt you. I'm going to work on being more respectful of your time. Listen, if you're in a relationship where apologies either don't exist or are always conditional, you're not being treated with respect. Okay, so now I want to give you a reality check technique. It's pretty simple, yet powerful. I want you to start documenting. I know that sounds clinical, but hear me out. If you suspect that you're being gaslighted, you need to start keeping a journal or notes on your phone about the conversations and incidents that happened. Write down what was said, what happened, how it made you feel, what the other person claimed later. So that way you don't have to share this with anyone, but you can actually go back and document the truth. Someone gaslighting you, they're counting on you not trusting your own memory. But when you have it written in record, you can look back and see the patterns. You can see the contradictions. You can validate your own experience. This has been a game changer for so many of my clients. They'll read back through the notes. They'll think, oh my God, I'm not crazy. This is really happening. And that clarity is the first step to reclaiming your power. So now I want to hear from you. Have you experienced any of these gaslighting behaviors? Leave your comments below. How did you get through them? We all learn from each other. And if you're ready to meet the love of your life, somebody that will prioritize you and not gaslight you, please visit amiethedatingcoach.com. I have private coaching, group coaching programs to help you find the love of your life. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.